going on, people? Proof here, bringing you the next recruit report for the new Dudley units that came out in the reveals last week. And if you haven't seen the recruit report on Dudley Jetter, be sure to check that out, because some of the things I want to mention here kind of coincide with Dudley Jetter's report. And so the card we have today is Dudley Cheers Lynda, which is the new Sentinel unit for Spikes from set 9. And looking at her skill, it's kind of interesting to think about the direction that Bushy wanted to go with some of the Dudley skills, some of the Dudley cards. And her skill says Soul Blast 2 cards with Dudley in its card name. When this unit is placed on GC from hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, reveal 7 cards from the top of your deck. Call all the cards with Dudley from among them to the Guardian Circle, and they get +5, and then put everything else into your soul. And so from there, I immediately started thinking about different ways to get Dudley's into the soul to facilitate her skill. And they're kind of few and far between. You have riding naturally up to grade 3, re-riding on your Vanguard. You got random soul charging Dudley's through Medical Manager, which is a card that I utilize in Rising a lot. There's Dudley Mason with his on hit ability to put a card from your hand into the soul, call another card out. And then if you Legion with the Dudley pair and then you re-ride on the pair, you now have two extra soul to use to facilitate her skill. And thinking about that, since the ways, well, let me backtrack. There's also a Flash Bruce as well to utilize, with similar to Mason, on hit, put a card from your hand into the soul, call something else out. And from there, being able to utilize her skill effectively, it made me think about other means, because there's not many there. And so thinking on that same line, it made me think that if Bushiroad decides to grace Spikes with a push the soul trigger, whether it be a crit or a draw trigger, hopefully it's not a stand, because Spikes don't need another stand trigger to use, because they're not really a clan that can effectively utilize them. But if it is a draw or a crit, I fully expect it to be a Dudley unit that has some kind of universal skill, so it'll be able to combine better with the use of the Sentinel here. Because why would you release a card in this set if you're not going to give her extra support, so to lead to her usage some more, if that makes sense. And so from there, I started thinking about different aspects, and it's appealing to think about using her with Rising, because you get 7 soul off of her, provided you have 2 Dudley in soul. But in the long run, I don't think it'll be practical. I could be wrong, just because the idea, well, say for example, the push the soul trigger, if we get one, is a Dudley, and you somehow use 2 of them before your opponent strides, or in the middle of them striding, and you use the ability just to, what's the word, greedy soul charge 7 cards for Miracle Ace. That could be kind of cool, since she's only restricted in Soul Blast use and not restricted to a Dudley Vanguard. So there are some means to be able to abuse her with Rising if you want to dig far enough for it. But depending on the nature of the other Dudley support, I don't think it'll be practical to mix Rising with Dudley just to be able to use this Sentinel here, because using this Sentinel here means you have to give up melee, and giving up melee hurts your charge support base. So I wouldn't recommend it as of now. I don't think it'll be better with the more stuff we know, but it's an idea that I had that I wanted to share with people. So hopefully this doesn't lead to some like incredibly greedy versions of the deck, but who knows what people devise along the way. But it'll be interesting to see how they're going to support her, because as of now she doesn't appear really good, because the nature of Dudley support and Dudley cards in the card name is to be able to call them out through Jessica, among other things. So you can utilize them for attacking purposes, not for guarding purposes. And so it makes me think that the Dudley stride that they come out with in this set might have some use with Dudley cards either in your soul or in your drop zone. Maybe put Dudleys back into your deck and do something. If you put X amount there, some weird form or fashion, just to be able to tie it all together. And it's interesting to see that she doesn't use hand more, being that she's not a traditional PG. She also doesn't use counterblast like some of the other quintet walls, even though she's a, I can't remember the number for 7, like septuplet. I think that's what it is, septuplet. But tying back to my Dudley Jetter recruit report, the fact that this kind of lends itself to Dudley being a more defensive option to combat Ryzen's aggressive option, it seems really interesting to me. And so I'm excited to see what can come from it. But giving her a rating as of now, I give it like a 1, 1.5, maybe 2 to be generous, just because it doesn't seem to be very synergetic with the rest of what Dudley wants to do right now. That could change, and so with these ratings, as always, I give myself the liberty to address them on the back end once the set's fully revealed. So it'd be cool to see if my rating changes from there. So hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys gave you some thoughts, maybe give you some hope for the future with Push the Soul trigger, and hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe for more, check out for more, and as always, until next time, peace, be easy.